宇宙世紀0079。人類が初めて経験する地球と宇宙の戦い、一年戦争が行われる。地球連邦に対する独立戦争を仕掛けたジオン公国は初戦を制したものの、自力に勝る連邦軍の前に敗北した。総人口の半数を失った戦乱が終わり、人類は平和を取り戻したかに見えた。敗戦の後、ジオン公国の兵士たちはそれぞれの道を歩み始める。戦後、ジオン共和国となったサイド3へ帰還する者、降伏を拒否し地球圏各地に潜伏する者、そしてジオン再興のために地球を遠く離れ漆黒の闇に姿を消す者があった。火星と木星の間に横たわるアステロイドベルト。無数の小惑星が漂うこの空域に旧ジオン公国の資源採掘基地アクシズがあった。連邦の追撃を逃れた人々は指導者マハラジャ・カーンのもとジオン再興への第一歩を踏み出す。その旗頭となったザビ家唯一の後継者ミレバ・ザビの存在は各地に潜伏するジオン軍残党の結束を促し、アクシズを一大勢力へと成長させていった。宇宙世紀0083。着実に勢力を伸ばしつつあったアクシズは指導者マハラジャ・カーンの死に直面する。しかし偉大な父をしのぐ新たな指導者ハマーン・カーンの登場はアクシズにさらなる飛躍をもたらすのであった。宇宙世紀0086。アクシズの運命を変える報告がハマーンのもとにもたらされた。ティターンズとエウーゴの対立がもたらす新たなる戦乱の兆し。地球圏への帰還を狙うハマーンにとって両者の対立は願ってもない好機であった。そしてアクシズの核パルスエンジンが始動する。宇宙世紀0087。エウーゴとティターンズが泥沼の戦いを繰り広げる地球圏にアクシズが到達する。新たな勢力の出現は地球圏の戦乱に何をもたらすのか。ジオンの再興を目指すハマーンとアクシズの戦いが今始まろうとしていた。
予想通りティターンズとエウーゴの戦いは互角といったところか。
ただ議会におけるシャアの演説の後、連邦軍はエウーゴに回りました。これにより市場はエウーゴが完全に抑えている状況です。
地上の体制はエウーゴに決したな。だが宇宙の戦況次第で連邦軍の動きも変わってくるはずだ。
はい。ティターンズはグリプス2をはじめ宇宙全域にかなりの戦力を保持しています。
だがティターンズもエウーゴも互いを倒せるほど決定的な戦力はない。そのうち我らの力を求めてどちらかが接触してくるであろう。
開発部より新兵器。
Alrighty then, folks. Welcome to Axis. Yes, I'm warning I'm warning you this now. I haven't played this one in God, almost a year now. Yes, I beat this a long time ago and haven't even looked at it since. So, first things first, we got some designs. None of these are useful. You know, the Hyzak. We could upgrade some Zakus if we had them, but we don't need them. The Gihren Krieger. The Pinnacle and the Gihren line, because Axis totally developed the Gihren line. Anyway, we don't need that either. The Gihren Cannon. The Zaza, which we do need. And the Zaku Mariner, which we're actually going to avoid because we get capitals in like 2 levels. The Desert Zaku, which is actually kind of useful. If we have Desert Zakus on the planet, I don't remember. And then the Dom Sturm, I believe. Something like that. Something in German. Anyway, this is a Dom with a bunch of missiles, but only a single one per unit, so kind of useless. The Full Armor Marine Gelgoog, again, useless. They're kind of okay in the 1-year war, but right now we don't need them. Okay, so, first things first, if you haven't seen one of these campaigns before, and this is the first episode you're watching, go back and watch the Titans one, not Titans, Zeon. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, go back and watch the Zeon one, and it'll give you false implications of what this game's really like, and this one will be a little bit more topical when you do. But, if you don't feel like doing that, I will try to make this as introductory as possible. So, all menu translations and event trees are on the wiki. Just look up Giren's Greed wiki. I'll try to put in the description if I remember, but I'll probably forget. Warning you that now. So, first things first, as always, this is the spying tab. It's the second one under the first one. We want that at full, because right now we can't see how the under the 2 things of 1,000, and then see that 80, that's how many troops we have. Specifically how many troops we have in Axis. We can't see how much the enemy has, but when we invest in spying, we can. So the first things first, you always want to do this, invest in spying. You want this at full, because you can see where enemies are, you can see how much their production centers produce. I mostly know all of that already, because I've played this game a lot, and they don't change very much. And when you get it to full, you can start stealing enemy designs, which we're Axis, so it's not really useful, but when you're the AUG or, you know, the Federation or almost any other faction, stealing designs can be very useful. But we're Axis, so we get a lot of the better designs. The only ones that we could really use would be Zeta and Double Zeta, but we can't steal those in that campaign. They're locked in this one since they're story units. You can eventually get them for doing a certain path, but they're generally not worth it, and by the time you get them, you're already pulling Sazabis, so there's no point. But now we can see how many units they have. They have 3, 2, 10. And this one's, they actually call this one Abo-Ku. I was about to say this is the Gate of Zidane, but they do in fact call it Abo-Ku. That's awesome. So, in this campaign, you get the choice to ally the AUG or not. We're actually going to do it because we're going to try to get Char to join our side. Eventually he sees that the AUG was evil, and his decisions were terrible, and he'll eventually join us. So we're going to try to do that, but that decision will come up next turn. And then we'll also have the choice of talking to Jamatov, and we're going to tell him to stick it, because he's going to get assassinated anyway, so why should we curry favor with him? But this is one of my favorite campaigns because you start out really goddamn small, and you don't have to protect anything. Though eventually I think Africa defects to you, but we should be in a really good position. And since we are allying with the AUG, we're going to try to get as far into Titan's territory as we can before they betray us, because they will eventually betray us and try to kill us with a colony laser. But we'll accept that, because I know how to deal with that. So, our first goal is going to be to capture Side 3. We're actually going to leave these 2 alone. And this one. But we'll explain that later. So, the first thing we're going to do is invade out to here. But we want to get Side 3 and we want to get Luna 2 as soon as possible. But we want to try to grab all these extra ones in between. Abo-Ku, Solomon, Side 4, Side 1, and Side 4. I always get these mixed up. All the sides look the same to me, though this one is Side 2. I know that one, because the AUG campaign. And then we'll eventually have to invade the planet, but that's not for a while. We can also... This is one of the story campaigns, so you can invade them however you want. You have to do it in a certain order. I believe the first one is Abo-Ku, but we're going to destroy that really soon, so it doesn't really matter. Then we have to grab Side 1, then we can grab Side 4 and Solomon. I believe you have to capture Side 4 before you can capture Solomon, which is stupid, but we'll do it. and then you're able to capture side 3. So that's the tentative order of what we're doing it right now. Now on to research. You have 3 tabs for research: general, production, MS, MA. I generally do these together, but you don't have to. You can generally avoid doing MA entirely. You want MS because you get better mobile suits for it, and then general allows you to get a lot of the mobile suits, like transformable ones and all that. So you should generally do these 2 together. We're going to do all 3 of them though, but that's later. Right now, all we want is the Zaza, because this thing's really useful. This is the Zaza booster. It can do up to, I think, 2250 for having 3 units per turn. So you can do a ton of damage with one of these things. So we're going to invest one. How research works is you do an initial investment to just get it, and then you can invest again to double the speed. So if you go back a little bit, you'll notice that it said 4 turns. On the right is how long it'll take to develop. Now it only takes 2. Which, Desert Zakus. I forget where they are. Yes, Desert Zakus. See, right now Desert Zakus take 4 turns. So, we do that, and then it takes 4 turns to develop. If we wish, we could invest 2,000 more and make it only 2 turns. We're not actually going to do that because that's expensive. As far as things go, we have a bunch of really weak units in our capital, mostly Gelgoogs. We have some Gazos, but those are mainly with the main force, and we also have a new CL, apparently. That's awesome. I don't know who we're going to give that to. Probably Glemmy. We have quite a few Musais. We'll upgrade those eventually. I don't know if we have, what are they called? Indras yet, but we'll get those eventually. We also have some Draw Cs, apparently. That's not good. Draw Cs are an end node unit. You can't upgrade them into anything, so we're going to get rid of those very soon. They're also very weak. We have a bunch of Musais. We have some Gelgoog M's, more Draw Cs, a prototype Gion with Chara in it. You can actually upgrade the Gion to the Arjarja eventually, so I guess that makes sense. We also have Rankum and a Camphor, I guess. And we have Haman in a Gaza C. I don't know how to get her to start with Cubile, to be honest. There's a way to do it. I've seen it done. I just don't know how. According to the wiki, you have to have 2 completions. I have something like 10 now. So, the only campaign I have unlocked is Shirako's. And we'll get Shirako's Titans eventually. I just have to beat the Titans campaign, which is total bullshit because, you know, they actually make you be evil, and being evil in this game is stupid. I'll explain alignment in a second. We do have a Gelgoog Jaeger. That's cool. And a bunch of Dom 2s. These are also end node units, which you can't upgrade into anything, so we'll get rid of those. Well, you can upgrade them into Fumps, but Fumps are only good on the planet. Oh, hey, we have some Zaku Kais, which means we can make some Hyzaks if we so desired. And some Jikos. Hey, we have one of these. This is a Psychomu Zaku. You can upgrade these straight into Zeongs, and then from Zeongs you can make perfect Zeongs. So I think that's what we're going to give him on, because, you know, why not? We also have a Flapper. Anyway. Oh, as far as pilots go. We do have a set of ace pilots. Ace pilots make fighting better, and depending on certain scores, improve battles overall. I don't know who half these people are, I'll warn you that now. Though I know she defects to Glemmy eventually, which is gonna suck. That bald guy, he'll stay with us for a while, and then eventually defect to Char's Neo Zeon, if we let that happen. Which, actually, in this campaign, I'm pretty sure you have to let that happen. Her. She also defects to Char, weirdly enough, but these guys are supposed to be very loyal to Axis. Chara, main character from Double Zeta, actual Glemmy. He'll eventually get his other suit. Godin. He can pilot mobile suits, which will probably stick him in them, because why not? But he's not all that great. Sato? I don't know who that is. Gaha Ki? I don't know. That guy, this guy. These guys all piloted Jameer Sin, or Jameer Fins, however you pronounce that. We'll use these guys, but their stats don't get very high. And also, this guy's name's Del. Del Double Zeta. because, you know, the other Del would be too confusing. And then the 2 Galbaldi people, Haman, who's a Newtype and an actually good pilot. That guy, my cello. We'll eventually make him into a cyber Newtype, just not now. I don't remember his name, but he gave the newest CL and some other stuff to the Delaw's fleet. Rankum, or Rackham, however you pronounce his name. He's actually a really good pilot. He'll probably be our second best till he defects to Glemmy, because he joins Glemmy for some stupid reason. And Umu? Anyway, I'm not sure if this is a girl or a guy. Totally looks like a girl. And it's wearing lipstick, but, you know, who knows. Anyway. So, we need to upgrade people. This is the upgrade button. You can upgrade some people into better ships. We're not going to do that because our resources are very, very low this early in the game. So we have to be very careful. As much as I want to upgrade our Galgoogs, we don't need to. We could upgrade that straight into a Galbaldi if we wanted, which we might do eventually. Yeah, these are commander units. We can upgrade Marines into commanders. We don't want that though, because commanders, Marines right now have 3 units per squad, so they're grunt suits, according to my definitions. But if you upgrade them, they become an ace unit. We don't want that. Though we could upgrade this one into a commander, because this one has an ace pilot in it. But we won't. Or actually, this is a single one per squad anyway, so fuck it, let's do it. Oh, and this is technically a prototype Galgoog. I don't know why, it just is. Yeah. And we could upgrade those into Jaegers, apparently. I didn't know that. But yeah, these can upgrade into Fumps. Fumps are really weak, though, so we won't be using them. We will be upgrading our Zakus into Action Zakus, because Action Zakus are just better. And I don't know why we still have Zakus. Yeah, we'll get that in a second. First, I want to do this, which we want to upgrade this into the Zeong, which is really expensive. And then from the Zeong, we'll make the perfect Zeong, which is even more expensive. We can make the Flapper back into a normal Zaku, but we don't want that. Eventually, we'll be able to upgrade our Action Zakus into High Zaks. So we kind of want to keep them alive if we can. Yeah, just on that case, we're going to develop some Zaku, or some High Zaks. They're pretty expensive, but we can deal with it. We have a lot more credits than we do resources right now. Oh, and if you look at the bottom of the screen on the far left, that's the amount of turns we have. Since this is after the 1 year war, you have up to 9999, so time isn't really an issue. The one to the right of that, the green one, is our credit score, which is basically our money we use for everything from spying to research to building new units. And then the one to the right of that is our resources, the blue one. That is, resources are really important in the beginning, but about halfway through the game, when we're really on our invasion streak, we won't be using them as much. We'll be focusing mainly on credits. So for about the first half of the game, your economy is entirely based on how many resources you have. But after about that second half, it's all entirely how many credits you have, because you'll just have so many resources that it won't really matter. Especially when we get Odessa, which makes us, I think, 1,600 per turn? Yeah, it makes 1,600 resources on only 250 credits. So it's incredibly useful to get that. But we don't have that right now, so we'll have to get that first. I believe Odessa's our first descent point on the planet. And then, like, right after that, I think we have to grab Kilimanjaro, then some other stuff. And Belfast is going to take forever to take because this game hates you. But, yeah. And which means we'll have to defend against Belfast this whole time. But first things first, we need to first load people up, and then we need to go attack people. Oh, wrong menu. That was the movement menu. This one, we just need to load some troops up. And I'll load up some Gaza Seas. We really should be loading them up together, but, you know, fuck intelligence. Who needs that shit? And this is the perfect Zeong. We're gonna stick Haman in it. We could stick someone in a flapper for no reason, but we're not going to. Glemmy's actually a Newtype, so training him's not a bad idea. He just starts really shittily. He currently has 0 experience and no training at all. Or we could give it to somebody else who actually has stats. Could give it to Renkum. He's actually a pretty good pilot. Yeah, you know what? We're going to give the newest CL to him. And then we'll give somebody else his camphor. Because why not? Where is his camphor is the real question. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're going to give that to this guy. And then Haman's old Gaza, which even though Haman isn't piloting it, it's still her custom one. Which generally her custom one's better than the other ones. Yeah, it does about double the damage apparently. Though, Gazas are 3 units per squad, so the number reported here, you have to times it by 3. See right under where it says weapon data? That first one's the ranged attack, and then the second one's the melee. You can tell it's melee because it's 0 to 0. So, yeah. I cannot hit a melee attack to save my life, so I almost entirely focus on range. Let's see. So we have these 2 places to invade. We could totally invade them right now, which I think we're going to do, because the Titans couldn't defend them very well. Because how this game works is, per turn you can move up to 3 spaces. So, like, say we attacked here, they would have 3 defenders, plus a possible of 10, plus a possibility of 6. They won't take all 10 out of here, because this is a production center and we'd be able to attack it next turn. Though they will take it out of here because they don't need to defend any of these, back provinces. Well, they need to defend this one, so they'll try to assemble most of their guys there, so the AUG won't invade them. The AUG is going to sit on its ass and not do anything in this campaign. We'll eventually start invading them and they'll start fighting back, but till then they'll just sit around. So right now they have up to 16 or 19, 22 defenders there, and 18, 21, 23 defenders in this one. So we need to divide it equally, about 40 and 40 to invade, which is what we're going to do. We're going to grab 1, 2, 3, which is also a bunch of low-tech units and some okay-tech units, so we got to be careful. And then we'll grab the rest. And then there's some unassigned units that we'll deal with in a second. But for now, we're just going to avoid them. 2, 3. Oh, hey, we have some Chivets. That's cool. Or are they Tivets? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Okay. We'll start loading people up in a second. I just want to check if these are Tivets or not. Oh no, they're Papuas. These are the most useless units in this game. They have no dodge chance and they don't do enough damage. We will get rid of those very soon. And I think you can upgrade them into Doroses, but yeah. We should have that tech right now, but we don't apparently. Or that, or you can't upgrade them. So we gotta be careful. Side note, these are Jikos. These are things that can produce energy shields. They're really useful if you use them in pairs, because you have one shield itself, and then shield another unit, and you can kind of move up without the enemy being able to use ranged attacks on you. Well, energy attacks. But since we're fighting the AUG, that's basically every single unit. You can really take advantage of those if you need to. Let's see, we actually want to load up some Action Zakus because they do more than the Dom 2s do. We want to grab that one, 2 Jikos, 2 of these. These are Zakukais. They're Zaku 2Kais, but this game calls them Zakukais for some reason. We can eventually upgrade those also into Hyzax, but not right now. We have to get Hyzax first. So we need to try to not lose those units, but if we lose them, who cares? Because we can replace them fairly easily. And we're going to move the rest of them to go attack South. So after these 2 battles, we'll be given this prompt to either ally with the AUG or tell them no. Which if we tell them no, nothing really happens, but if we ally with them, we won't have to deal with them for a while, which will be really nice. But we will be doing the battles next episode because I don't like having these things longer than 30 minutes. Makes processing them and uploading so much easier. So, that'll be the end of this episode. If you liked it, you should like. The next episode will be coming out in about a half hour. So, if you're watching this when it comes out, you won't notice. If you aren't, well, it's already out, so don't worry about it. I'm thinking we'll have these on Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, p.m. for, people in Saudi Arabia and that kind of line. Actually, it's 9. But anyway, so 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, early in the morning anyway. Yeah. I can't think of anything else, so goodbye.